Jason, really quickly, just in terms of a flash take on the PMI numbers, not so bad, 50.5, you'll take it, right?
Yeah, not so bad, better than expectation, but I think right now we're in the part of the news cycle where bad news is probably good news, right? Because everyone's waiting for Beijing to do something, and I think the weaker the economy looks, the more pressure there is for Beijing to roll out something fast and roll out something big.
On that front, in terms of there being something fast and something big, do you think it's going to be, directed targeting of consumption? Because that would probably be the fastest way to do it if you really wanted to juice the economy relatively quickly.
Absolutely. It's going to have to be sort of government spending, government consuming, and hopefully from there, kickstart confidence and then drive consumer spending. That's the only way right now. I think everyone's in the wait and see. So the government's got to be out there consuming, and hopefully it starts a virtuous cycle.
But on that front, I've got to ask you because, what we've seen in terms of the external demand for Chinese products has been softening considerably. Can you have a situation where there can be enough domestic consumption, enough domestic activity to offset what could potentially be a pretty significant downturn, whether it be, in the United States and in Europe? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a case where you've got, a huge, severe downturn in the States, but even a mild recession and, the inventories are already built in terms of the US and Europe, and just no external demand, small recessions would be enough to really hit China.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the export channel, we shouldn't count on that. We shouldn't hope for that to bail out China. And the good news is, China used to be about 36% export. Now it's about 15% export. So the dependence on export has shrunk quite meaningfully. It's still significant. So clearly that's going to be a headwind. So it's all going to have to be domestic consumption, as I mentioned. Domestic consumption is in a wait and see. So it has to start with government investments, government spending before it can kickstart retail consumption inside China. Now, the good news is households in China are sitting on a lot of cash, right? This is not a case where you might have kind of U.S. households maxing out their credit cards. So credit is tapping American households' ability to spend. In China, the households' ability to spend is there. It's really a confidence issue.